to the Carriker Chronicles, the People Show. Check the Post Rescue Nation, brought to you by Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just going to put a disclaimer out there. I almost didn't do this show topic today because it's a tough one. It's a tough one for me. But I don't dodge, duck, dip, dive, or dodge anything. Only people who saw dodgeball back in the day will get that one, the 5 Ds. So I'm going to do a show on a topic that people are talking about and people want to hear other people talking about it, and it's the quarterback position. And should we give another quarterback a shot? Now, here's why it's tough. Because Adrian Martinez, throughout the spring, fall camp, and practices, was clearly the best quarterback, okay, during that time. He was the clear-cut starter. And I know they have a 2 and 3 on the depth chart as far as quarterbacks go, but there's really no clear-cut backup. Like, there's separation here, and then everyone else, 2, 3, and 4 is like boom, boom, boom. So it's like, and I know he didn't play great against Illinois. You look at that first half, he made some plays throughout the game, but he missed some layups. Okay, he did not play well in this game. In the second half, he needs some help, though. Those wide receivers are getting no separation. The offensive line was not blocking well and protecting him. Now, Adrian's got to hit those layups in the first half. Scott Frost talked about how he hit some difficult passes. Well, it's phenomenal when you hit three-pointers, but if you're missing layups, that's what people are going to remember, okay? He's got to play better. He's also got to get help. I mean, the Illinois coaching staff talked about after the game how nobody else on the team scared them. The only player on that team they thought threatened them at all was number 2. It's Adrian Martinez. Again, he's got to play better, but the line's got to block and the receivers got to create separation. The running backs, we had no running game with the running backs. Okay. You look at a guy like Logan Smothers, okay, where let's give Logan a chance. I'm cool with that. I got no problem with that. Sometimes letting a guy sit back and see the game from a different perspective, a starting quarterback, so to speak, helps him. Okay? A little competition sometimes helps. You look at Scott Frost. Okay, this is a guy that flat out struggled in large part in 96. Okay? Early 97. Now, from the Washington game on, he played great. But early 97, Coach Osborne came out and said, and this wasn't the first time he'd done this in his coaching career, but like Frankie London's going to get a series in this game. Don't read too much into it. Frankie takes the offense right down the field. They score, okay? And then we all kind of know what happened to the quarterback the next time he took the field. No need to belabor that point. My point is, Scott Frost played a lot better after that. Like he did the rest of the year. Is it connected? I don't know, okay? My point is, I don't know how you start somebody else, but I have no problem giving somebody else a chance. Now, you look at the other guys in that room. Logan Smothers is a freshman. He's a much better runner than he is passer. Heinrich Harburg is a true freshman. I like that kid. He's faster than he looks. He's got a great frame, a big arm, and a gunslinger mentality. Now, a lot of times with gunslinger mentalities, you get more turnovers, but he's got no fear. I think Nebraska football needs more of that. So whether it's Logan, whether it's Heinrich, you look at Matt Masker. The only guy in this team that probably knows the offense as good as Adrian Martinez. He's been here as long as Adrian. He's a sophomore. By the way, they're all underclassmen, except for Adrian Martinez. There's not a single senior in that quarterback room. So yeah, I have no problem giving somebody else an opportunity. We all know Adrian Martinez is a Scott Frost guy. That's no secret. It's just, I don't think you can start anybody else. You're taking a risk if you put somebody else in, because how big is that separation from Adrian to them? But also sometimes you just need a jolt. So it's a little bit hard for me, but I hope what I'm saying makes sense. Okay, I absolutely believe Frost is going to stick with Adrian, but will he give another guy a series? How does that work out? I brought this up in a previous show, okay? Call me the heel, the bad guy in wrestling, the villain, the bad guy in a movie or a comic book. I'm going to briefly go there again. We used to have guys in that quarterback room named Tristan Gebbia starting at Oregon State, Noah Vedral starting at Rutgers, Luke McCaffrey, and I made this joke, but I'll make it again. Okay, he was at Louisville just long enough to eat a hamburger, have a bowel movement. Now he's down playing for a food named rice. Yeah, I said it 2 days in a row. Okay. Of course, I don't know which order these shows are going to go out in. I just recorded shows back to back because I talked about we got to get more out of the guys that are on this team. And to that tone, I pointed it out on social media and fans were like, they didn't like it. But every time last offseason, it was a defensive guy deciding whether to come back or not, Whether it was JoJo Doman, whether it was Ben Stilley, Cam Taylor-Britt could have left. He would have been really, really young, but he decided to come back. They all came back. Offensively, it seemed like all those guys left. That's why we're so young. It's why we're so experienced. It's why we have to start over. It's why there's not more depth in that quarterback room or more experience with the depth. There's talent. When there's a common thread like that on one side of the ball versus the other, it means something. Okay? I'm curious to see what happens. It is Fordham, but I'm curious to see how this happens going forward. I like Adrian, and I'm rooting for him as a person and the team as a whole. Throw the bone. Thanks again to our sponsor, Nebraska Spine Hospital. Ladies and gentlemen, when it's your spine, you do not want to mess around, and experience matters. That's why you can trust the experts at Nebraska Spine Hospital, the region's only spine-specific hospital. They are the best at what they do.